Hello and welcome to the best of 88 in football. Highlights of a championship year which took us on something of a roundabout and ended us up back pretty much where we'd been 12 months before. Well, the competitive year began with a ring of familiarity about it too. Meath and Dublin contested the National League final. Now Meath, the All-Ireland champions, Dublin, the league title holders, and both, of course, no strangers to each other. It was an intriguing start to 1988.
It's played nicely by Vinnie Murphy to Noel McCaffrey, happily recovered from a facial injury. 20 metres out, Joe Castle's way back there. Mick Galvin looking for a second point for Dublin. Hangs in the air. McNally was holding, however. The goal won't count. The goal will not count. The referee's whistle had sounded before Delap was there to finish it off. Dublin anxious to get to the ball first time. Down towards Vinnie Murphy. If he can just send inside Martin O'Connell. He's away. The young Trinity Gales player, the youngest player on the field at 18. And he has scored a lovely point. That's the first point from play we've had in the game, and Dublin lead by 3 points to 1. Liam Hayes to take the sideline ball towards Brian Stafford. Here's McCabe just into the action, and he's got a point. It's interesting, 4 of his previous 5 points all came when he came in as a sub, and here he is straight into the action, and he scores from play. Kevin Foley thought about a pass outside to O'Connell. Good ball, picking up Ferguson unmarked outside the 45-metre line. Turning inside towards 2 Dublin tackles, cross to Flynn. Good release. Here's Flynn to steady himself. Kick and score. Bernard Flynn's opening point of the match, and it's the equaliser, 6 points apiece. And we have 14 minutes remaining. Kieran Duff has struck 3 frees so far. Opportunity here then to regain the lead for his team. Angles wide, it's a goal by Galvin. Mick Galvin the scorer. Harnan to take the free, belting it forward, touched on to McCabe from Stafford. Here's Flynn, good chance. He chips it over the bar and the sides are level yet again. Bernard Flynn's second point, an invaluable one, with just 4 minutes to go. Bunching in midfield. Here's Kevin Foley. Left-footed across to Bernard Flynn. Perhaps they consider him to be a potential match winner. Taken down by Dave Carroll. And a free in for Brian Stafford. And every free so crucial at this stage in the game. Stafford, who's kicked 6 points out of Meath's total of 10. Will this be the match winner? It's a good one. Meath go in front with 2 minutes to go. And once again a free for a foul on Paul Caffrey. The referee will probably add on some time for injuries. Or into time added on for stoppages in any case. Here's McCaffrey. The side trailing by a point. Is their unbeaten run to end? And are they to lose their league title? Not up to McNally has his way. He's tied up the scores. And I suppose it would be fitting if they both live to fight another day.
May 22nd was the date set for the replay, and it was a game that everybody looked forward to with relish. Now, in the meantime, Meath embarked on a tour of the United States with the All-Stars. We wondered if that trip would possibly put the Meath men off form for the replay. Well, they gave us their answer in emphatic style.
7 minutes gone then. Dublin with that one and only point so far. Meath bidding to get on level terms. Matty McCabe trying to get inside. Dangerously to Flynn. Oh, it should have been a goal, but it's come thundering off Paul Clark. And it's gone for a 45. So a chance here for Meath to get on level terms. Low inside towards Colm O'Rourke. Oh, very near to being a goal. It is now. And it's Brendan Riley who scored it. Taken neatly by PJ Gillick. Well, look at this for slack marking. Bernard Flynn getting well away from Dave Carroll. And Carroll pushing and shoving, but still Flynn persisting and scoring. Good advantage applied there by the referee. Bernard Flynn's first point, the side's level again. O'Rourke once again being sucked into midfield, but Mick Kennedy has followed. This is Gillick transferring to Hayes. Open space in front of him, pursued by Tim O'Driscoll, about to come into shot. A great goal! A marvellous penetrating run by Liam Hayes, and a brilliant execution. So Brian O'Hagan to Mick Kennedy, the oldest man in the Dublin team, and he's only 29, blocked down by PJ Gillick. To Colm O'Rourke, who's free. Chance of another score. Colm O'Rourke's first point this afternoon. He always gets one. That's brought a smile to the face. The backup support coming here from Brian O'Hagan, one of the youngsters in the Dublin team this afternoon. Nice catch by David Delap once again. That's the second very good catch he's made to McNally. And Dublin needed that score just to keep in touch. 11 minutes into the second half. 2 goals now between the teams. Lee's behind him. Fisted away by Brian O'Hagan, but only to the waiting Brendan Riley. Scorer of Meath's first goal, teasingly inside towards Flynn. Bernard Flynn has it, and a lovely point. The value of good persistence being shown that time by Bernard Flynn, and the inexperience of his marker showing. 70 minutes gone in the second half. Matty McCabe, Bernard Flynn pushed by McCaffrey, given an advantage. Joe McNally, by the way, I think it has firmly been decided now, is Dublin's spare player, the extra man. We'll see how they use it. Meanwhile, this is Brian Stafford. That kicks on target. Stafford's 5th kick of the game, 5th point. The last day he was inclined to stay inside, wait for the ball to come to him, and he was easily beaten by Hargan. Today he's roamed and he's been so much more effective. This is a very sharp and very fit-looking Meath side. They did some training in America during the All-Star Tour. That's going to be a free in for Dublin, which is taken far too rashly by Paul Clark. Flynn rounding McCaffrey. 2 very fit operators. Flynn has such a great eye for goal. What great confidence now being demonstrated by the Meath forwards. No one better, of course, than Bernard Flynn. 4 points his afternoon tally. Here's O'Hagan. Murphy loses it. Well, from the middle of the field, Dubliners unable to pick out one another. Simple passing movements breaking down. Barney Rock waiting. Comes down to Vinnie Murphy, who's been popping up everywhere. And he nearly found the top of McCullen's goal. Instead, he's chipped it over the bar for Dublin's 11th point. Vinnie Murphy's 2nd point this afternoon.
Meath then giving us a clear indication that they would not be parted easily from their All-Ireland crown. And by May 22nd, the date of that replay, the championship was now in full swing. Well, the game that Sunday was an interesting Ulster clash between Cavan and Monaghan. Now, Cavan had high hopes for the Northern Championship in '88, but Monaghan had the inspirational Sean McCaig back as their team manager.
McDonald, Faulkner, Donoghue await the line ball. So does John Brady. But it's run in there by Brendan Murray for Monaghan. Back in again. Donna Carlow. Good kick into the wind. It's going to break towards Nudie Hughes. No foul. Not initially anyway. Nudie Hughes and Sean Kiernan in a little confrontation there. That hardly make the same weight in boxing. Kiernan's a much bigger man. Here's Eamon Murphy having a blast at it. That has to be a very good point. Murphy, Nudie Hughes. Hughes has made a super start to this match. Into Owen Hamilton. Hamilton looks for the posts. That's where they are. That's where he'll find them. And Monaghan go double scores. 4 points to 2. Here's McEnany. Karen comes for it on his favourite left foot. And Riley under pressure from Eamon Murphy. That's a good save by the Killen-Kerr goalkeeper. Now Derek McDonald and Cavan at last see some space ahead of them. That's Declan Lockman chasing McDonald. Good run by the 13. Good point. Sullivan challenging for him. Kelleher took a knock as he went down. All very ragged in there. Ronan Carlin playing it forward. A little too high for Brady, but reaches Faulkner. Looks up at the target. Has a pot. Oh, how about that? Michael Faulkner. A good break here by Kieran Murray, the captain of Monaghan. What a footballer. For me, there's no better footballer in the country anywhere. Same personnel to start the second half, but so many switches. Jerry McCarroll slow to turn. Oh, well picked up, and legally too, by Gene Sherry. To Declan Lockman. Nudie Hughes. Murphy pulls away to the right to give him an option. He doesn't need it. Murray's sideline kick comes to David Byrne. To Owen Hamilton. Looks at the target area. Has a go. And Monaghan can't miss. Gene Kiernan. Jim Riley, Damien Riley, Kenton Cal, a point, but it certainly looks from here as though a goal was there for the taking. Bernie Murray for Monaghan. McCarron, well, just like Cal before him, there was a chance of multiplying that by 3. Up to Michael Faulkner. Faulkner gets around Jerry McCarville. Plays it into Ronan Carlin. Was hit very hard at Carlin. And Lockman was able to accept the crumbs. Playing it up to Nudie Hughes. Nudie has a look. He has Murphy inside him. He has Eugene Kiernan beside him. And Kiernan stays goal side. Nudie looks up. Ah, that is sweet. How sweet thou art. Kevin Carher comes away with it. Nudie Hughes. The magnificent Nudie Hughes. Eamon McEnany slipped at the wrong moment. Jerry Sheridan dropped it. The referee's on the spot. And it is all out for Monaghan, a penalty kick. A point ahead, 10 seconds to go. You're a point ahead. Eamon McEnany obeys. He better.
June the 6th was a milestone date in the history of the GAA. The game between Carlow and Dublin marked the first time that a senior championship match was played on a Monday. And the reason? Well, the matter of a soccer match between Ireland and England. So then, for the GAA it was a first, and for Carlow it was a case of, I don't like Mondays.
Murphy receiving from Redmond and giving it back. Now there may be something on for Bissett. Broderick turns goal into point, the first score of the game. 13 minutes exactly. Well placed shot too, and the goalkeeper did well. Jerry Horgan under a challenge there. Mick Nolan has a look at the post. That looks pretty good. That is good. Mick Nolan, the scorer. A good deal of passion in the crowd, a lot of atmosphere, but on the field of play, I'm afraid the conditions are beating both teams hands down. Joe Dunn lost it out there. Now Dublin have a chance. McGalvin trying to get across. Broderick couldn't keep it out, and it's in the net. Galvin again worked. There's McNally. There's Conor Crowley. You see Galvin again, so involved in it. Gets the pick up, gets by Joe Dunn. The goalkeeper's near post. Couldn't quite get onto it. And in the net. Kennedy, Jim Bissett, Tommy Dwyer. First to react is Noel McCaffrey. Generally is too. He's a very alert player. This is Joe McNally playing Galvin again. He's got a notion of ball up in that corner. Charlie Redmond. Inside Joe Dunn. Redmond back to Galvin. And a point. Charlie Redmond in possession here as we look at it in replay. He made the turn away from Nolan, got inside Dunn. The support arrived from Galvin, and this corner forward has been outstanding in the first half. Tommy Dwyer, this is a long one for him. Drops back, Willie Doyle in possession. Yes! Willie Doyle, the scorer for Carlow, playing his first championship match since this time last year. First game for Carlow since this time last year. Tommy Dwyer, nice catch. His midfield partners Mick Nolan, and Mick, I'm afraid, was just a little careless. Dublin win it back. Paul Clark, Joe Hayden. Paddy Quirk, Mick Nolan. Back to Dwyer. Good score, Carlow's best move of the game. And Tommy Dwyer finishing it off with a sweet point. A move that was started initially by Joe Hayden, who did very well, and did well to play the ball when he slipped. And Tommy Dwyer following it up had the angle just right, and that's a very good point. And that's it, the end of the first half. That leaves it Dublin 1 goal and 6 points, Carlow 5 points. It's the 10th championship meeting of Dublin and Carlow since 1914, and in all of that time only one Carlow win, 44 years ago at that. Here's Paddy Quirk, try and get them a good start of the second half, and Paddy accomplishes just that. Denny Murphy showing the strains of battle. Martin Whelan from Old Loughlin with the free kick. Charlie Redmond finds Mick Galvin. Galvin and Murphy, and outside him he's got Crowley. And Martin Whelan survives a heavy challenge and clears it. Carlow must keep concentrating now to keep in touch in this game. If they don't, it could be swallowed up. David Delap, that is. Well, David Delap didn't get a score for 40 minutes, but now he's got 2 points in the space of a couple of minutes. Big Jim run in. Paul Clark, the right half back. Joe McNally. Been well held today by Tom Cullen, but a good ball, good out ball there to Crowley coming through. And Joe Broderick knocks it over the bar. But credit Crowley with the score, his first of the game. And credit Broderick with 2 saves, one in the first half, one now, that prevented goals. Tom Cullen away. Willie Doyle. Well, it's strong man stuff, all right. The referee decides he wants to throw it up. Now it's Jim Ronan. Charlie Redmond. Charlie Redmond's 5th point of the game. And remember, he didn't start in this game. Kieran Duff did. As Dublin goes sailing towards a Leinster semi-final meeting with Longford. That's Barney Rock to Jim Bissett. Vinnie Murphy to McGalvin. That's a good score by Dublin. Rock was involved in it, Bissett was involved in it, and Galvin was the man who finished it. Tommy Dwyer. That's a free kick in for, as we approach the 50th free kick of the match. With Joe Hayden to take it. That's the point. It's Joe's second of the game, but it's merely now academic.
That soccer match between the Republic and England, which prompted a rearranging of dates in Leinster, was actually played the following Sunday, June the 12th. Well, the Sunday game's cameras travelled to Armagh that day for the home counties game against Donegal.
It's threaded through there by Kieran McGurk. And Armagh looking sharp in the early stages. Ger Houlihan here in front of goal. Closed down quickly, but advancing and scoring. After just 2 minutes play, the side's second attack. Jim McConville setting it up on that right-hand side. Watches the defenders closed in quickly on Houlihan, but he somehow managed to dodge around and left-footed it away into the corner. Peter Rafferty up here towards Martin McQuillan. McQuillan surveying his options. There's Neil Smith. Chased back there by John Cunningham. To the other one, Joey Cunningham. The Armagh Joey. And he hammered one against the crossbar after 1 minute, but he's got himself a point now after 10. Might be worth taking a look at again. A good bit of industry by Joey Cunningham. And a very good finish. Conditions absolutely excellent this afternoon. Very warm, of course, out in the centre of the park, but this pitch is in perfect condition. Joey Cunningham, good pick up. Enterprising kick over the head to Jim McConville, who started that move. Now can Armagh round it off with a score? Again, McConville involved near to the parallelogram. Ger Houlihan. Is it a penalty? It is. It might well have been a penalty a moment earlier, but the referee seemed to allow an advantage to Ger Houlihan, and now here's a gilt-edged opportunity, and Houlihan goes straight to McConville, the player who started all of that. So 4 minutes into the second half, this was McConville's run in. I thought that was a penalty, but up he got. And the pass was delivered inside, and many players were trying to ground him. 2-3. No question about the decision. Gary Walsh faces Kieran McGurk in the 5th minute. Will this push Armagh firmly into the lead? A well-struck penalty, away to the corner. Walsh may have got a hand to it. Good tight control by Cunningham. This is an impressive performance. Martin Toy, player who was out, ruled out in the first half with a shoulder injury. Bad ball, is it? No, it's not. It comes good to Declan Canavan. And a very good score. Apologies to Ger Houlihan for suggesting that he might have put the pass astray. It was inch perfect, but the marking was very slack on Canavan. He picked him out brilliantly. And look at the nearest player, who was Matt Gallagher, slowly closing down. And of course that wasn't Gallagher's man, but Canavan gets the score. Nice catch, under pressure by Martin McQuillan. The direct football paying off, and Joey Cunningham is in once again, and it's over the bar. Hasn't scored for some time, that's his second point, but it's a really good gritty performance by the home team. McQuillan has time to go back, and this really is a very dispirited looking Donegal outfit at this stage. Houlihan on the trusty left boot again, and he simply drills it over. Target practice at this stage for Ger Houlihan, who started all the damage, of course, in the second minute with an Armagh goal. Dermot Dowling here. It's a very good run, and he taps with the bar. Well, right from that kick out, from the clearance by the goalkeeper, down to the substitute Dowling, and it was a very good score. So here's the run once again by Dermot Dowling. Look at the way he went round the defence. They posed very few problems for him. He beat them once and he beat them twice, and two as well. Martin Shovlin, in that despairing effort to catch up with the forward, pushed in the end, but made no difference. Martin McHugh has that shot thundering, sees that shot thundering off Kieran McNally. And Paddy Hegarty on the far side of the field has got another late score for Donegal to improve their position, but very marginally.
The greater the success of Galway's hurling team, the greater the sense of frustration felt by football fans in a county once powerful in that code. Mind you, they were still the defenders of the Connacht title in '88. That was at least until June the 26th, when Roscommon went on a plundering mission to Pearse Stadium in Salt Hill.
The game has fallen down a little bit in the last 5-6 minutes. We haven't had a score now for nearly 8 minutes. But a couple of near misses, one of them from McManus. And Junior McManus gets himself on the score sheet. It was a good run into space and a fine execution at the finish. So at 5 points to 4. All the way back in the attack. Good shoulder by Matthew Riley. Pumping it forward, the bounce deceiving Mulholland, and it comes to Junior McManus from the middle of the field. Now look at the way they're packing forward. Paul Early chipping, had to be absolutely decisive, and the sides are level. Paul Early's third score, and it's 5 points apiece. That kick from the 20-metre line, fisted down by Cavan. Comes to Lennon. A little chip forward, deceiving Broderick. It's on for Tony McManus. Players loose beside him. One of them was Lennon, and it's over the bar, and Roscommon have gone in front. John Kelly was the scorer. Kelly the corner forward. His first point of the afternoon, and it's 6 points to 5 now. Touchdown to Paul Early. They're combining well in midfield, Roscommon. Having a very good spell at the moment. Once again, another punt forward by Kelly. The same result, 2 attacks, 2 points for John Kelly from Elphin. Kelly, who actually went to school in St. Jarlath in Tuam, County Galway. Owen Kelly. Well blocked down by Gary Wynn, but there's good backup support here from Alan Mulholland. The belt into space. Might work yet for Jimmy O'Dea. Oh, it's a cracking shot which comes off the crossbar and back into space. Another let off. Val Daly maintaining the momentum of the attack. Little chip over the bar by Val Daly. His second point, making it 7 points to 6. But they're still buzzing around Pearse Stadium. Great kick out by Gay Sheeran, finding John Newton, whose fielding has been excellent at midfield. Up it goes. The layoff down towards Tony McManus. Jersey pull. The shot and goal! But the referee is going in. Is he giving the goal? Yes, he is. Notebook's out. He's giving the goal, giving a very good advantage. Tony McManus, then the Roscommon scorer. Another fine catch by John Newton. His fielding has been impressive. Sensibly then laying it off to Tom Lennon. That's inside for Tony McManus. Frank Broderick is trying to get back. Still, oh, it's another goal! It's John Kelly, the scorer. Brian Talty has just come into the game. He's playing in the middle of the field, and he's on instead of Hugh Blaheen. That's an interesting change after just 5 minutes of the second half. Now, can the veteran Talty make a difference? Val Daly, meanwhile, gets over the bar to cut back the deficit. 5 points separate the sides. Galway's 8th point, Roscommon 2-7. Alan Mulholland reaching himself out to Michael Donlan. Chip ball forward, Tom Lennon. And this is Junior McManus shipping the shoulder from Matty Coleman, who seemed to injure himself in the process. It's to Joey Connaughton, and that is snapped up and over the bar. Joey Connaughton, one of 4 Clonagale players playing in the attack. Des Newton towards Paul Early, chest high, neatly taken, support outside. Broderick, or Sean Glynn rather, and here comes Junior McManus. Junior McManus for Roscommon, the layoff towards Tom Lennon. Tony McManus thought about a pass outside to the right, holds a little chip. It's a smashing score, a goal and 2 points by Tony McManus of Roscommon, and there are 2 clear goals between the teams. 5 minutes to go. Seamus McHugh towards Alan Mulholland. John Coleman, who had a very good first half, he's found the space closed down in the second by Gary Wynne. Junior McManus fisting it forward to Tony McManus. The Clonagale duo combining. Another score or two might well seal it for Roscommon. It goes off the post, over the bar. The air was punched by Delight, and with Delight by Tony, who's got a goal and 3 points. And so the counter burst with Bosco Welsh here. Jimmy O'Dea, one of those to hit the post. John Coleman. And it really is a rather shapeless Galway attack at the moment, but just as I say it, they may get themselves the score they deserve, and they do eventually, and it's turned inside by Michael Cavan after Don Joyce had the first chance.
The Munster football final was played on July the 3rd at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Now Cork, the defending champions, had wintered badly, being relegated in the league. They'd also had a shaky semi-final encounter against Limerick. However, the sight of a Kerry jersey was enough to spark them back into life again.
Tony Nation, a match which has produced 6 frees so far. Good catch over there. John O'Driscoll, has he got the range? He's got the first score. John O'Driscoll, who's looked very sharp in training for the last 2 weeks, opening Cork's account. Dennis Allen getting to the ball first ahead of Morgan Nix. The fist ahead towards Dave Barry. Referee allows an advantage. Dennis Allen had been fouled. It's half blocked down. Good covering at the back. Jerry Lynch, not a good clearance, giving it to Tompkins, the danger man. And here's Michael McCarthy. And another good Cork attack yields a second score to the newcomer Michael McCarthy, the Skibbereen youngster. So that's 2 points to 0. Shea Fahy taking it quickly towards Dennis Allen, who's getting there ahead of Morgan Nix. The 2 balls that have come his way so far. I'm always surprised to see somebody like Mick Spillane pick up Dennis Allen eventually. Tony Nation, that's half blocked down by Jack O'Shea, picked up however by Michael McCarthy, and he drills it over for his second point. That's very accurate shooting by Michael McCarthy. Knocked into space towards Michael McAuliffe. Tony Nation, his marker. The support from the other Tony Davis. Teddy McCarthy. Once again, Conor Coonahan. Looks all that terribly fast, but the ball always seems to reach him nonetheless. Tommy Doyle fisting it into open space where it's reached Gerard Murphy. On towards Connie Murphy. Right around Tony Davis. Kerry 3 points to 2 down, and that's Willie Marr sticking it over the bar for the equaliser. So 3 points for Kerry, 3 points for Cork. There was lovely combined play. Connie Murphy setting it up, held it well, found Willie Marr, and he stuck it over with the left boot. As they jump for this, there are about 3 or 4 groups of players all saturating midfield. It breaks out to Paul McGrath, getting it onto the trusty right boot, and Cork are in front again. this is a really fine display from both teams. Paul McGrath the scorer, and it's 4 points to 3. A view of Cork's bench. Billy Morgan here on the left. Over the head of Niall Cavan. Going back there, Stephen O'Brien. Taking out Teddy McCarthy. Pisting it forward to his midfield ally, Shea Fahy. Well, they showed too much of that to Kerry's Gerard Murphy, and here's Dermot Hannafin picking out Michael McAuliffe. And the support play from Hannafin. And again, the attack breaks down, but here's Maurice Fitzgerald to keep that momentum going. And Kerry's point from play coming from Maurice Fitzgerald, his third. That's the first of the 3 to come from play, and the sides are level. And it all started at the back, that greasy ball finding Maurice Fitzgerald. He turned around, got it onto the right boot, and knew where to find the target. But while the pitch is very soft on top, it certainly hasn't cut up yet. Tommy Doyle being blocked down, finding Jack O'Shea. Towards Pat Spillane. Cahalane keeping a tight rein on Spillane, but he's free for once and he's released it inside to Jack O'Shea. Jack O'Shea dispatching it over the crossbar, and Kerry enjoy a 2-point lead. What great running forward by Jack O'Shea for his first score. Pat Spillane seeing the good running and intelligent positioning of Jack O'Shea, and despite the challenge, he makes it 6 points to 4. Challenged. Well, they challenged him when he hit the deck, all right. Maurice Fitzgerald finding Pat Spillane. He'll be planning to take the number 3 of Cork out around the centre of the field if possible, leaving space inside. And here's Fitzgerald, those long legs gallivanting forward towards goal, and he has stuck over his 5th point. Phenomenal shooting in his very first Munster final. Son of a former Kerry star, Ned Fitzgerald, and the green and gold very much in evidence. Gerard Murphy catching cleanly. Player made his league debut with Kerry against Monaghan and hit over 3 points in Clonus the same afternoon. Towards Connie Murphy, taking Conor Coonahan to his left. Pat Spillane taken down and a free. And look at Niall Cavan poised just in case the referee were to change his mind or something strange were to happen. Maurice Fitzgerald, 5 points to his credit so far, and you can now change that and make it 6. Kerry lead by double scores, and there are 22 minutes of the 99th Munster final gone. Once again, it's John O'Driscoll across towards Michael McCarthy, who got 2 points in that early burst by Cork, down to Dennis Allen. They need another score, and they need it quickly, and they have got it from the boot of Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen playing today in his 11th Munster football final. Ger Lynch. Connie Murphy here, trying to take it forward towards Maurice Fitzgerald. It reaches Tommy Doyle. Outside to Pat Spillane, who would dearly like to score. The backup support from Ambrose O'Donovan. This is a bit like the old Kerry as Tommy Doyle finds it in, high and over the bar for one of the best scores of the match. It's Kerry 9, Cork 6. Tommy Doyle, the scorer. Well, they seem to step up a notch or two there. Pat Spillane, the one who instigated all of that. And there was support from Ambrose O'Donovan, and just look at how they built it up nicely, and Tommy Doyle whacked it over the bar. So 4 minutes to go in what's a highly competitive Munster football final. 4 minutes to go to half-time, that is, and the tackle by Dermot Hannafin will be penalised. It is. Play continues. Here's Tompkins. Will he put it over this time? Stopped. Dave Barry has it. And it goes off Charlie Nelligan's hands over the bar. It's 9 points to 7. And with that score, it means that each and every one of the Cork forwards has now scored. Shea Fahy is the Cork free taker. Coming out to meet it was Ger Lynch. He dropped it down, Dave Dennis Allen, and a foul on Stephen O'Brien, and it's a free to Cork, which Larry Tompkins, I'm sure, will take. Tompkins, who's got 1 point from play. Kerry now lead by 2 points. It's 10 points to 8. So champions Cork trailing by 2 points, and indeed 9 times this century Cork has won the title back from Kerry, only to lose it again the very next year. Will that happen one more time? Teddy McCarthy has moved onto the 40, and Larry Tompkins is now playing in midfield. Tommy Doyle wishes to belt this one downfield as far as possible. Touchdown by Conor Coonahan, but only to the waiting Maurice Fitzgerald, who was so impressive in that first half. Good backup play by Dermot Hanathan. Loses it, however, to Paul McGrath. Young engineering graduate from UCC. Dennis Allen. Into open space, and it's Shea Fahy. Oh, he took up a very good position, and there's the bare minimum separating these sides. What a marvellous ball that was across field. Shea Fahy jumping unchallenged, laying it forward for Dave Barry, and there's nobody near him if he wants to strike this one over for the equaliser. The St. Finbarr's clubman has got his second score. The sides are level, and there are 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. Tony Davis judges it to a tee. Tommy Doyle likewise taking the greasy sliding ball. Pat Spillane has come out to the centre. The layoff here towards Willie Marr to Jack O'Shea. McAuliffe fumbling, kicking and scoring. Michael McAuliffe's first point in the match has restored Kerry's half-time lead. It's 11 points to 10. Tim Kennelly there in the centre, and the Kerry substitutes there at the far side. So much talent down there. Lynch has changed his mind. He's going to take it himself. Maurice Fitzgerald beaten for it by Stephen O'Brien. He loses it, and he's left it behind to Connie Murphy. Ranging down in goal. Closed down by Conor Coonahan, but still gets in the kick. Point scores. I thought I heard a whistle, but the referee says the point does score, and so Kerry enjoy a 2-point advantage. But there's plenty of time remaining. 12 minutes out in the second half. Teddy McCarthy held the ball up there to Michael McCarthy here. Inside towards Colin O'Neill, his first chance to impress. If he can lay it in for Dennis Allen. Oh, it's a great goal! Into the second half, the crowd has come to life. The opening goal was set up by Teddy McCarthy, picking out Michael McCarthy, here his namesake. Colin O'Neill couldn't quite hold it, but he did just enough, and watch for the run of Dennis Allen, left to right, and Charlie Nelligan was diving in midair, but it reached the top corner. Fitzgerald's shot taken down by Conor Coonahan. So what a beautifully balanced game of football this is. That's a slack pass out of defence, but good recovery by Niall Cahalan. Good shoulder as well. Michael McCarthy, Paul McGrath rather. Now it's Colin O'Neill. Into open space one more time. Shea Fahy took up a good spot. This is Tompkins, and Cork are in a 1-point lead. That's Tompkins' third score. 14 minutes now into the second half, and Cork go back in front again. Tompkins short to his fellow Kildare man, Shea Fahy, then taking the return onto the right boot, and it curls in delightfully, and Cork are in a 2-point advantage. Tompkins now beginning to assert himself. He's got 4. And here he comes, Owen Liston, who played in his first final in 1978. The knee very heavily strapped. Missed an entire season because of a shoulder injury, and then when he was coming back, damaged the knee rather. Paddy Murphy comes off, and so can Tyrone Liston bring Kerry back into it. Time is on their side if they're good enough. Maurice Fitzgerald, that looks good. 2 points between them. Wonderfully competitive game. Maurice Fitzgerald again. What a goal would do for them here at this time. They trail by 3 points. Patspillan. And that's the first score he's got in 3 Munster finals. So just 2 between them. It's also the first point that Niall Cahalan there on the right has conceded in 3 Munster finals, because he marked Ger Power in 1986. Tony Nation under it, lets it fall down. Michael McCall of Kerry needing a goal to stay in it. Jack O'Shea pulled, wrestled to the ground, and the book is out once again. This time the name of Conor Coonahan, I think, will be joining the others. Tompkins there and Jack O'Shea, and I think Tompkins just trying to restrain Jack O'Shea, who didn't appreciate the unsporting nature of that challenge. And it's still continuing, and that is really very ugly, and that surely now should be a sending off for Jack O'Shea. I'm afraid he's just lost his cool in the heat of the situation. Well, there's no excuse for that. It's been spilling over somewhat, and Pat Lane, I don't think, has seen it. Watching some other incidents like this one here. Ah, what an awful way to finish what was a very good game. And it's a complete brawl at this stage. Well, they talk about when the Australians and the Irish get together. But what about this? Heavyweight bantam battles, middleweight battles, all kind of boxing going on down there. Well, it's a real dust-up. And it's come 2 minutes into injury time. And a disgraceful way, absolutely disgraceful way to finish a Munster final. Well, how is the referee going to restart this one? It was to have been a free in for Jack O'Shea, who was taken to the ground earlier on. Deep intake of breath by Pat Lane. A word to Patspillan, who I'm sure wants a few more minutes added on for all the stoppages. Tom Spillan questioning just what's happening. It's what we'd like to know too. It's going to be a free to Kerry. They trail, remember, by 2 points. Cork 114, Kerry 15 points. So they've got to go for a goal and hope that they can win it by 1. Maurice Fitzgerald's the taker. The little chip high and over the bar, and it's a 1-point game. Well, we've had such changing fortunes in this match. Great football, exciting skills, punch-ups as well. It's a bit like the weather. We've had showers and sunshine, and it's all over. Cork remain the Munster champions.
That same day, Meath took on Offaly in the Leinster semi-finals at Croke Park. Now, despite that devastating performance against Dublin in the league replay, Meath were not having the smoothest of championship runs, and Offaly certainly found a few chinks in the armour.
This kick for Offaly, taken by Dennis Kelly, the captain. Through towards Peter Brady. The chance of the first score, and Peter Brady has got it. Well, we've had to wait over 8 minutes for a score, but when it came to Offaly. GAA fans will remember that long drawn-out saga with Wexford. It's now senior football these youngsters are concerned with, and Peter Brady, who got the first point for Offaly, has got the second one. That's a spectacular effort from Brady. 10 minutes to half-time, Offaly leading by 4 points to 2. They're well worth that lead too. Brendan Flynn across the face of the goal. Peter Brady actually. Corrick Dunn wins it in the air. Gives it nicely to Richie Connor, whose kick is very well blocked by Robbie O'Malley. Who else? That incomparable defender. Colin O'Rourke gives it to Matty McCabe on the burst. Dave Kavanagh has gone back to help. Towards Bernard Flynn. He'll try to get around Sean McAvoy here. McAvoy sticks to his task well. Out towards PJ Gillick. Colin O'Rourke has gone forward from midfield. He can give it again to Gillick, who'll try for the point. A good effort by Gillick, a good point for Meath. Knocked down by James Stewart, who's having a blinder at right half back for Offaly. And look at this for confidence. And a good ball to Mark Plunkett, another of the under-21s. Will he try for a point from out there? That's a good effort by Mark Plunkett. Oh, that's a glorious point. Well, the youngster was a little out of it in the tight play with Jerry McEntee, but when the ball ran kindly for him there, he elected to go for the point. It was a good decision. He got it. It's hanging for Matty McCabe, who kept his eye on it. Took it down nicely. And then a good ball to Liam Hayes. This is Meath at their best, finding one another. Hayes driving it towards Beggy. Aidan Stewart puts it out. Dave Cavan had called for a pass, and he's got it. What a good call. Everything this man does has the stamp of experience and shrewdness. Dave Cavan, this would be a great point. He drives it in. Mick Lyons had to be alert. It didn't fall for Jerry McEntee, but Colin O'Rourke has come out to win it. What a great trier this man is, as well as a class footballer. Bernard Flynn, another classy performer. And that's a classy point. A superb score by Bernard Flynn. The Offaly dugout a little despondent now, I feel. But Colin O'Rourke will make them feel just a little bit worse with that point. PJ Gillick doing good work in the middle of the field. Liam Hayes here. Nicely to Matty McCabe. Back to Brian Stafford. Oh, that's very nice indeed from Brian Stafford, but it's just a little bit easier when you're leading by 6 or 7 points. Liam Hayes. Trying to get away from Peter Brady. Gives it to Brian Stafford. To Bernard Flynn. Is there yet another point for Bernard Flynn? Yes, there is. Well, he was under a little bit of pressure, but he's so beautifully balanced. He's got so much skill. Even under pressure, he found the point. Well, this, I think, will be the last kick out that young Donal O'Neill will take today for Offaly, but he's a goalkeeper with the future, I feel. He's won an under-21 medal. Oh, here's Bernard Flynn trying to wrap it up. A great save by Donal O'Neill. Well, I was just saying that he's a goalkeeper with a future. He's won an under-21 medal. He's played very well today, and you saw for yourselves that was a great save. Bernard Flynn came into this game with a shoulder injury, and he shipped a hard shoulder there, but he's a tough little fellow, Bernard Flynn. And here's Donal O'Neill, who's having an eventful 1988. And this certainly will be the last effort. Yes, it is. Tommy Howard blows the full-time whistle. It's all over. It was 8-4 at half-time for Offaly, but at the end, when it counted, 19-10 for the Leinster and All-Ireland champions Meath.
The Ulster Football Final between Tyrone and Monaghan had many interesting aspects to it. Tyrone, the All-Ireland finalists in 1986, had been a flop in 1987. Well, now the word was that they were back with a bang, and they'd certainly been impressive in their semi-final win against Armagh. Monaghan, the Ulster champions in 85, had also been through a sticky patch, but they too were on a revival. Which of them then would get up to full speed first in the 88 championship?
Jamie O'Hagan, using his skill to get away from his man. Stephen Conway, just knocked away from him there by Bernie Murray. That was timely, but it can still come. The first goal of the game for Tyrone, for Paul Quinn. But here's Stephen Conway, who's already shot a very nice point from a free. This is more difficult, however. He gets it in, it's punched in and punched over by Damien O'Hagan. That was well done by O'Hagan, but I just wonder about the Monaghan defence. As they say, ball watching, as that one came in, and really Damien O'Hagan should not have had that kind of freedom. Having said that, however, full marks to the Tyrone man for his opportunism. So then, under 10 minutes to half-time, Noel McGinn drives it in, 3 points apiece. A great drive by Noel McGinn. Oh, deflected in by one of the Monaghan midfielders off his own post. That was a chancy one. I think it was Kevin Carroher. And David Byrne has to help out here and get that ball forward, but no fewer than 3 Tyrone men covering. This is scrappy football at the moment, particularly from Monaghan, who are making life difficult for themselves by playing unorthodox football. But here's a chance for Eugene Hughes in front of the goal. Can he finish? Yes, it's a goal. An extraordinary one by Eugene Hughes. And what a blunder by Aidan Skelton in the Tyrone goal. Well, Monaghan, just at a point when they were not playing well or anything like it, got a high one in. Aidan Skelton had it covered. Perhaps he was unnerved by the fact that he was penalised earlier for overcarrying, but Eugene Hughes was just the man to punish. And here come Monaghan again. Eugene Hughes getting into a scoring position. This will be a lovely point. It is a lovely point by Nudie Hughes, and I think Tyrone will have to swap their corner backs again. And they're doing just that. It was Kevin McCabe. Now what's on here for Tyrone? Well, there aren't enough men free. Kevin McCabe will have to work himself and try for the score. That he's done, and he's got the score. Gene Sherry was waving his arms aloft there as if to say that's gone wide, but it was never wide. It was always a score by Kevin McCabe. When McCabe had looked up, he'd spotted that there was nobody free. He had to try for the point himself. It was a brave decision, a wise one. Paddy Ball's kick for Tyrone to Eugene McKenna, who's been very quiet in this first half. McKenna trying to work something here. This is a good run by Eugene McKenna. Can he go much further? Well, he's content with the point. But Eugene McKenna is such a good player that as he went through there, a little hop on the solo, I just feel that he was thinking about setting up a goal. In the end, under pressure, he knew that a point would be just as good in the circumstances. Sold that dummy so well, just drifted away from his man. Lovely skill by Eugene McKenna. Lovely finishing too. That's a delightful point. An injured Tyrone man is okay, Patsy Curlin. Here's Stephen Conway. It's 1-4 to 6 points. Monaghan leading by a point. Stephen Conway has kicked 2 excellent frees. He wants this one so badly to make the sides level. It's a great kick under pressure by Stephen Conway, a young man who is certainly making a mark in this Ulster Final.
Well, though Tyrone did go ahead by 1 point in the second half, in the end it was Monaghan's day, winning by 110 to 11 points.
The Connacht final was played on July the 24th, and Roscommon fans had hopes that this would be their year, especially after that semi-final win over Galway and the fact that they had home advantage over Mayo. But Mayo are nothing if not unpredictable.
And there, the relaxing substitutes across in the Mayo bench. Liam McHale fisting it down towards Martin Carney on the left boot. That looks a good one. The veteran of the side, Martin Carney, 35 years of age, gives Mayo the lead. Michael Donlan, the taker, swinging it away over to Junior McManus, up towards John Kelly, and there was a push in the back by Dennis Carney and a free to Roscommon. Paul Early, who kicked some good frees against Galway in the semi-final, is the taker. Into the breeze. Jimmy Brown deceived, and it's Tommy Lennon once again. Looking for support now, getting it from John Kelly. Into the unmarked Seamus Killoran, the little chip shot, and the sides are on level terms. Roscommon's really first attack produces the equalising score. Dermot Flanagan, short one. Tom Riley delaying somewhat. Flanagan comes forward. The team captain into the loose unmarked TJ Kilgallen down to Noel Durkin, and there's another point, a second one for Mayo. Noel Durkin is the scorer. TJ Kilgallen. Oh, that's neatly into the path of Mark Butler. Looking for support, getting it from Tom Morgan. Tom Riley's in the square in there, and so too. Well met by Martin Carney. And over the bar, and it's 5 points to 3. Martin Carney's second score. John Newton tussling over there, breaks down to Dermot Flanagan, released to TJ Kilgallen of Mayo. Long effort. Tom Morgan, full back there too. And it's neatly taken up by Gary Wynn, releasing it to Matthew Riley. Thundering forward, but he's left it behind him to Tom Morgan. And the referee signals that foul. Ball touched on the ground. Noel Durkin is anxious to take it quickly. Dermot Flanagan has decided to take responsibility upon himself. Young Mark Butler having missed a number of kickable scores. And it was a wise decision. Well on target by Mayo's top player Dermot Flanagan. That free gives them a 3-point cushion at half-time. On the far side, Jimmy Burke, the great campaigner, is getting ready, and I'm sure he'll be brought in very shortly into that Mayo attack. Taken very smartly by Butler to TJ Kilgallen, onto Martin Carney as they work it in nearer to the goal, and that's the opening point of the second half. Will that be a rallying point now for Mayo? They've opened up a 4-point lead. And here's Jimmy Burke coming in. We'll just wait to see who is going to go off. And it's Tom Morgan, I think, who's about to leave the game. The full forward is gone, replaced by Jimmy Burke. A free jump in midfield for Liam McHale, the basketball international, chipping outside to John Finn. Mayo, remember, playing away, and this is Jimmy Burke. First touch, good control, slows it down to TJ Kilgallen. The entire defence moved out. What terrible defending. TJ Kilgallen has an easy chance, and that's 2 points for Mayo in the space of a minute. TJ Kilgallen, I'm sure, couldn't believe the amount of space he was given. What great play this was by Burke. The entire defence converged on Burke. Just watch them all drift away. Very slack marking. Pass not absolutely inch perfect, but just good enough nonetheless. And a very good finish by Kilgallen as he rounded the defender and stuck it straight over. 12 minutes into the second half. John Newton jumping. Comes down, however, to his partner, Seamus Killoran, trying to feed Gary Wynn. Comes to Martin Carney, who's doing a lot of very useful work there in the half-forward line. Jimmy Burke, the layoff to McHale. Outside is Tom Riley. Oh, it's a goal! A goal by Tom Riley. The first really bit of enterprising play, and Martin Carney was the instigator. Good vision from Jimmy Burke, laying it into McHale, who spotted the opening outside, and Riley had time to gather, turn, and belted way into the roof of the far corner. The opening goal. Dermot Flanagan reading the game so well. Back to Sean Maher, who held off his opponent with his arm. Forward for Dermot Flanagan again, pursued by Gary Wynn. Waiting for support, gets it from McHale. The little chip outside was intended for Tom Riley here. Towards Martin Carney, they're having to go the long way about it. Jimmy Burke, the old head, can he steer it on target? Well, that's why he was brought in the second half, contributing to the goal, and now contributing to this latest point. So Roscommon then having to bridge a goal and 3 points once again. Tony McManus trying to flick it down for Junior McManus. Read well, however. That's Frank Noon carrying it out of defence, linking up with Liam McHale, released quickly to TJ Kilgallen. They're anchoring well in midfield, supporting one another as well, playing well into the breeze. Martin Carney on the left boot once more, and they've got a winning look about them at the moment. Carney's 4th point. 7 points now the margin. Willie Joe Padden is tangling there with Paul Early. Towards Noel Durkin. Durkin wins possession ahead of Gary Wynn. Inside to Tom Riley, turning, looking for the post, then having to go the long way around. The chip is good, and that's a goal, and 12 points now to 7 points for Roscommon. And Riley's got a goal and a point of that tally. In towards Junior McManus. The shot by Junior McManus, his first point of the afternoon, but too little, too late.
And so to the Leinster final and another chapter in the Meath-Dublin saga. Now this final was as tense and as tight as all the recent championship meetings between the two sides had been. And there was a dramatic ending to this one as well.
Liam Hayes thumping it in well towards Colm O'Rourke. Breaks down to Matty McCabe. Oh, goal! From the sideline ball it came. Indecisive covering at the back, and that broke down from the fingertips of Bolger to McCabe, who nipped in, tight angle, and a good finish. Joe McNally going up challenging with Cork Lyons, breaks down to Mick Lyons. Hoisted pass, however, given straight away to Noel McCaffrey from the middle of the field. Galvin keeping it in play, he's got support outside. Declan Sheehan here drilling it on the left. Boot looks good, it's on its way, and Dublin's 2nd point scored by Declan Sheehan. And so there's just a point now between the teams. Hold it, McNally toe pokes it away towards the opposite wing, towards Charlie Redmond, shoulders Kevin Foley. Bolger here. Support from Tommy Carr. Him on the sub in last year's Leinster final. Back it goes. Peary got to go through 3 Meath men. And Colm Coyle is back there playing, as we say, around the middle of the field, up towards Colm O'Rourke. Takes it well ahead of Hargan. Good pass to Bernard Flynn. Flynn's got the goalkeeper out. Chance of a goal. 2nd goal for Meath. Here it comes to Gillick. Oh, it's taken an eternity, but it's there. On the quarter hour, PJ Gillick gets Meath's 2nd goal. The defence really caught that time. The goalkeeper having to come way out from his line to challenge Bernard Flynn. Flynn had the composure to hold. Then the positional sense picked up by Gillick and into the top corner. It was a great finish. McEntee. PJ Gillick. McEntee again, targeting this time Matthew McCabe. Another good finish. Meath's first point to add to the 2 goals they've got already. And once again, it's Matthew McCabe the scorer. Arnie Rock for Vinnie Murphy, who did very well, I felt, in the 2 league finals. And that looks a good kick. It's on its way. Dublin's 3rd point, and there are now 4 points separating the sides. Twisted away by Tommy Conroy to the waiting Vinnie Murphy. Jersey pulled by Liam Harnan. Dublin 16th, free of the half. They're ahead at the moment in terms of frees, 2-1. Joe McNally to Vinnie Murphy. Another well-directed shot by Murphy. A splendid young player. Out of minor just a season, and he's kicked 2 points in this opening half to keep Dublin's hopes alive. Just a goal now between the teams. And if the Dublin defence could tighten up somewhat and get a more firm grip at midfield, their fans, I think, realising that they could be in with a chance yet. Declan Sheehan, Dublin's best spell so far. Another good shot, it's on its way again. And now there's just 2 between the teams. On that half-forward line, Sheehan's kicked 2 points and Murphy's kicked 2 points. And this is Porrick Lyons on his own 65-metre line. Challenge, gives the ball away to Declan Bolger. Squares it across the feet towards Declan Sheehan, where they probably feel they might well have an ace. Down it goes to Mick Galvin, getting away from Robbie O'Malley, near to half-time. Still 2 points separating the sides. Jersey pulled, and that's a free in. So Declan Sheehan composes himself, the game ticking in to injury time, and he puts it over the bar. His 3rd point, leaving just 1 between the sides. Beautifully balanced for the second half. The Dublin fans filled with hope. Declan Sheehan, there's his angle, and you can see the running that's going on off the ball in the background as he drills this one in left-footed towards McNally. Taken well, smartly from the air, out of the clouds by Mick Lyons. Left-footed clear, but Noel McCaffrey's up smartly. Wants to put it over the bar. He's done just that. There's a point between the teams one more time, and Noel McCaffrey, their inspirational centre half-back, is showing the Dublin forwards the way. By Tommy Conroy, but he's dispossessed by Jerry McEntee. McEntee holds, waits. Colm O'Rourke once again drifting away towards midfield. Remember, he did this very profitably in the league final replay, but then Brian Stafford was in the full forward line. He's not today. Bolger, high kick, taken well by Mick Galvin. That's a really good kick by Galvin, getting there ahead of Robbie O'Malley, and the sides are on level terms. Mick Galvin looks defiantly at Robbie O'Malley. The first time he's got a little bit of leeway, and he knew where the target was, and these fans are rejoicing. Joe McNally dispossessed rather easily. David Beggy here, tenaciously carrying it forward into the heart of the Dublin defence. He's 30 metres out from goal, laying it off rather difficultly, however, for McCabe to get that one up. 4 passes at the end from Beggy, and away by Carr to the other wing back, who's Eamon Heary. Many of the clearances blocked down, given away to opponents. This is Porrick Lyons off Tommy Conroy. It comes to Joe Castles. Colm O'Rourke, Liam Hayes. Build up is slow, deliberate, but the finish is good. Meath go back in front again. The sides having been level for over 8 minutes. Well, it doesn't really matter about that misdirected ball, or does it? It's still in play. Heary. Dublin needing a goal, but Meath absolutely refusing to yield anything. Space at a premium, and look at this with good backup support. Reaches Joe Castles. Trying to get the ball inside. PJ Gillick shoots. Oh, fingertip save away by John O'Leary over the bar. And that should seal it, I think. Gillick's 3rd point, a goal and 3 points in all. A great save produced by John O'Leary, but now 3 points between the teams. Looking for a goal. They must get a goal here if they're going to stay in. Is it a penalty? Referee's whistle sounds it must be. Yes, it's a penalty. A penalty for Dublin. Would you believe it? We have 1 minute and 25 seconds gone in injury time. Remember, there's a goal between the teams. Oh, he's put it over the bar. Oh, dear me. It's gone over the bar. Well, poor Charlie Redmond.
Well, Charlie Redmond's amazing miss wrapped up the provincial championships, and so then it was on to the All-Ireland series. The first of the semi-finals was between Cork and Monaghan on August the 14th. Well, it was a day in which both teams struggled against a gale force wind, and one controversial score clinched the issue.
Jerry McCarville just gets it down to Brendan Murray, runs into two Cork players, then releases it. Barry Coffey here. Thought about a pass outside, inside for Dave Berry. Good position. Oh, great goal! A goal for Cork. 6 minutes into the second half. Meanwhile, back in the middle of the field, Brendan Murray is receiving attention. Oh, right into the top corner. Eugene Sherry nips in to take that breaking ball. Dennis Walsh comfortably under it. Coleman Corrigan up towards Paul McGrath. Tony Davis. This is a really impressive performance by Cork, the Munster champions. Jersey held, plays on, releases it inside towards Michael McCarthy. Back to Paul McGrath. And that sails over the bar. Paul McGrath's got his third point. He got two right at the start of the first half, a third now, and the Cork fans are really celebrating. So is there a Monaghan fight back? Nudie Hughes trying to go by Niall Cahalan, back to Eamon McEnany, and that's a point that they needed and a point they've got. So that's the position, 110 to 5 points. Cork very much in the ascendancy at the moment. Certainly the significant moment in this game so far seems to have been in the 6th minute of this second half, that Dave Barry goal. It's settled down Cork, given Monaghan an awful lot to do. Murphy here. That's high and over the bar, they're not finished yet, that's their 6th point. So 7 now between the sides, and what a goal from Monaghan would do. Jerry McCarville going up high, but it breaks down to Shea Fahy once again. Conor Coonahan. It's just as well he didn't have to go off when he was injured right at the start of the first half. Dennis Allen, Larry Tompkins here. Outside the 20-metre line, that one's on target. It's just his 2nd point from play in the game. The player who missed the first half penalty, he's now scored 6 in all. 6 of Cork's tally of 14. Player who doesn't mess around when he gets a chance, Larry Tompkins, knows where the posts are and slots over. Thoroughly disappointing afternoon for Sean McCaig as well. What can he do? Shea Fahy towards Barry Coffey. Michael McCarthy, Cork with 5 new forwards as compared with the team that started against Meath in last year's All-Ireland final. One of them is Paul McGrath, and that's on target. Paul McGrath has now contributed 4 points, all from play. He really is one of the top young forwards in the game. 2 of the younger players who weren't involved last season, combining there. McCarthy, despite the jersey pull by Declan Flanagan, Paul McGrath had a point in his mind and stuck it over. Teddy McCarthy on a burst through the middle. 10 points the margin. Cork the leaders. Oh, it comes off the crossbar. Down from the woodwork to McCarthy, who was alert and confident and stuck it over the bar for his first point. It was a brilliantly taken score. He was one of the players of the year, of course, last season. 11 points now separating these teams. Seamus Pryor looking at the watch. I'm sure this is going to be the last kick of the game. It'll be a sideline ball for Cork. Larry Tompkins will be the taker, and he's been told by the referee, just give it to me, Larry, that's it. And Cork are in the All-Ireland final for the 17th time. Billy Morgan's men qualify on a final scoreline, which reads Cork the winners by 1 goal and 14 points. Monaghan 6 points. 11 points separating the sides at the finish, but it's Cork who are the victors, and there was never a question about that.
Grave disappointment for Monaghan, but for Cork, their second All-Ireland final in a row and a chance for them to make up for their disappointment of 12 months before. Would the final be a repeat of 1987? Or would we see a rare appearance by Mayo on All-Ireland Day? Well, the answer to that question was answered the following Sunday.
John Finn. It's Tom Morgan. This is Martin Carney. Looking very dangerous, this Mayo forward line. Noel Durkin. The sides are level. The game has come to something like life in the last 5 minutes. That was well set up. There was a nice bit of interaction and a deadly finish from Durkin, who's good in front of goal. That's neatly taken by Colm O'Rourke. Foul, but the referee allows an advantage. Into Flynn. Front around Jimmy Brown, taking it on the outside, then inside on the left-hand boot. Across it goes to McCabe. And that's Colm Coyle over the bar. His first point since coming on, increasing Meath's lead. And with 5 minutes to go to half-time, this was the latest score. The forwards now beginning to assert themselves a bit more. Bernard Flynn getting a bit of leeway, going right, then left. Shot off target, but held up well back there with McCabe in the action. Back to the on-running Coyle, no marking, and straight over the bar. TJ Kilgallen can't take it. Colm Coyle menacingly forward. Breaks down. Taken by Frank Noon. 3 players around him. And the ever-alert Brian Stafford there too as Matty McCabe turning on the right boot. And that sails over. McCabe's first point. And there are 4 between them once again. And the Meath followers are happy. He's looking a little faster to the play. McCabe getting it back to Flynn. And Jerry McEntee, a good move this. Will it finish with a score, however? It certainly does. Coyle second. He's done well since coming on, Colm Coyle. There's the position then. And we're now almost into injury time. McEntee, the last of about 5 or 6 players involved before releasing it to Colm Coyle. Once again, you have to say the marking is awfully slack, and Dermot Flanagan is the player who should have been marking him. Brian Stafford here. Always menacing. Maybe 3 minutes of injury time now played. Beggy going forward well. This is a good run by Beggy. And it's gone wide. Not alone could he have scored a point that time, I think he could have ballooned it into the top of the net as well. But the referee saw a foul as he was going through, and it's going to be a free from the 13-metre line. David Beggy, a very elusive player, player of great pace, going through 2 defenders that time. Watch for the challenge that comes in here. And as he was pulled down there on the 13-metre line, just outside the large square. So a 13-metre free rather, and over it goes. Second half underway. TJ Kilgallen. Well blocked down by Jerry McEntee. Liam Hayes foraging. Down towards a very alert Bernard Flynn. The forwards expect to get those loose passes. That's a good move. Stafford high and over the bar for his 6th point of the afternoon. And it comes after about 17 seconds of the second half. Bernard Flynn getting miles ahead, well, nearly miles ahead of Jimmy Brown. Look at the loose marking then. Stafford never closed down, and he sticks it straight over. So the Connacht champions then having a huge task ahead of them. Hale slipped inside, comes back out. Dermot Flanagan colliding with TJ Kilgallen. It breaks loose to Colm O'Rourke. 2 Mayo players out of action at the moment. O'Rourke outside him, he's got Matty McCabe. Overhit the hand pass, just needed a little touch. McKay was totally unmarked. The backs now completely losing touch. Flynn misdirecting, kept in play by Colm O'Rourke. Once again, look, nobody marking. And he has time to swing it onto the crusty left boot. Over it goes, and it's 10 points to 2. And we've only played, a minute and a half of the second half. Jerry McAtee can't hold, it spills away from his grasp. Down to Tommy Morgan. That's a giveaway of a ball. Matty McCabe chasing back. He's got support there if he wishes to use it. From Martin O'Connell. Anthony Finnerty, the Mayo player. Cork Lions. This very mobile Meath team. Colm O'Rourke. Chip on towards Jinxie. David Beggy. Once again angling for the score. And he's put it over. His first, 9 between them in the early stages of the second half. The champions now playing like champions, getting first to the ball, very deliberate in their passing movements. That broke down, picked up again by David Beggy. Good solo and a fine execution at the finish. Mayo looking for a little bit more penetration and a bit more effort as well. Noel Durkin here. Joe Lindsay's loose inside, but he's held up. Elected to kick to Dennis Carney, who's now playing up around the half-forward line. Fisted down into space. They waited for it, weren't expecting it. McHale, the shot, a goal! What this game has so badly needed. And it's come 13 and a half minutes into the second half. An interesting ball dropped away to the right-hand side. Watch when it came back from the fist of Finnerty. Lindsay wasn't expecting it, neither McHale, and it was dispatched quickly to Liam McHale, who drove it in low, and a good goal. Michael Collins. Here's Anthony Finnerty, along with TJ Kilgallen. Outside is Dennis Carney, and that's gone over the bar. Carney, who started out at left corner back when he played in last year's Connacht Championship at centre forward. And he's showing some good attacking ideas. 3 players involved in that build-up. Finnerty, Kilgallen, and finally Carney. What a good shot. Oh, that's well gathered in midfield by Sean Maher, who was fouled. And that's the 11th free for Mayo in this second half. They've kicked 4 wides in that period as well. The Western followers giving their team every encouragement. Into McHale looking for another goal off the post with McLyons there too. Down to Finnerty and over the bar it goes. Anthony Finnerty's first score. And once again Liam McHale was very much involved in the thick of the action. Just 6 between them now. 7.5 minutes to go. Watch as that ball came in deep towards McHale. There was a good half block by McLyons. Watch for that. It came off the post, down to Anthony Finnerty, and was put over the bar. O'Malley, back to Cork Lions. That's half block down to Kevin Foley, who's played really well and steadily at right half back. Down it comes to Dennis Carney. 6.5 minutes to go. Dennis Carney in. McCullen ponders, mixes, and Finnerty dispatches it to the back of the net. Oh, what a turnabout! Mayo's second goal, and there is just a goal between them again. Dennis Carney drilled it in high. McCullen wondered whether to come, whether to stay. In the end, he fumbled. It broke out and spilled away from his grasp to Finnerty, who pulled on it well and into the corner. A good catch by Liam Hayes when most needed. The pass forward. Gideon Murtagh, very high challenge. A dangerous challenge by Dennis Carney, and the book has to come out. Gideon Murtagh, the substitute, introduced in the last 10 minutes as Carney pleads his case, but that was high and dangerous. The referee had no doubts at all, or indeed I think should anybody else, This will absolutely seal Meath's victory, I feel. With 3 minutes of injury time played. Brian Stafford kicks. It's Meath's 16th point. He's got 9. A fine contribution. He says, surely that's it, referee. 7 points between teams. And there it is. It's Meath who go forward to the All-Ireland final. The county's 11th appearance in the decider. They got a bit of a fright in the last 15 minutes from a very gallant Mayo team. Full credit to both teams for a semi-final which ends Meath 16 points, Mayo 2 goals and 5. And the Royal County's dream of a 2 in a row is very much still alive. It'll be a Meath-Cork final as expected.
A brave and battling performance by Mayo, but in the end it was Meath's experience which saw them through. And so their supporters, who'd waited so long for All-Ireland success, now faced the happy prospect of seeing their team make it 2 in a row. But in the final on September the 18th, well, Cork showed that they'd learned much from their defeat of 12 months before.
Little chip forward towards Paul McGrath. Martin O'Connell's his marker. Here's Dennis Allen. The 36-year-old. In his first All-Ireland final, nice ball inside. McCarthy's moved inside. Teddy McCarthy shot. It's a goal! A goal by Teddy McCarthy. 2.5 minutes gone. Conceived by the genius of Dennis Allen. What running by McCarthy, slack marking at the back. And it was Kevin Foley who was left with the task of trying to block this one. It went through the goalkeeper's legs. And Cork have gone into a 1-goal lead. Peggy, nice run. And it's over the bar. For Meath's opening score, which has come after 8 minutes play. But the referee had whistled for something that happened down there. The score is cancelled out. And so it may well be the point now that Beggy got a little bit earlier. No advantage applied then, so here it comes. It is now. Well, David Beggy, I think, was just dragged that time as he was going through, so the referee cancelled out his kick, and Brian Stafford's is the one that counts, his 24th point of the championship. Comes to David Beggy. And he produced the score for Meath, trying to get through. He's got there. Short tackle late. Back to Stafford. The little chip is over the bar. And it's Meath's second point. He's got both those scores, and that's the first to come from play. So we have a point separating the sides. Bobby O'Malley jumps with 2 Corkmen. Dave Barry releases it back to Teddy McCarthy. Belting it forward towards Dennis Allen, making a good diagonal run across from right to left. Porrick Lyons his marker. Drilling it over to another unmarked player. That's Paul McGrath. Into Michael McCarthy unmarked. Good forward play. And it produces a fine point. Michael McCarthy, one of the finds of the year for them. It's come through the under-21 ranks. Dennis Allen was the one who set it up with Paul McGrath. And look at the slack marking, which was responsible really for the goal just before this. But it was a very good finish by McCarthy. Cork then leading by 2 points. Meath the free for that bit of holding on Liam Hayes. Taken quickly by Harn, and he belts it high into the Cork defence. Gallimore catches, happily recovered from injury, and it's over the bar. This game is opening up. Well, Meath's recovery now complete after the shock of that goal they conceded to Teddy McCarthy after just 2.5 minutes play. Dominating. We haven't seen much of Tompkins so far. McCabe. And Colm O'Rourke is through. Tackled by Tony Nation. And Meath have taken the lead for the first time in the match. With Colm O'Rourke's second point in this game. And Colm O'Rourke has now scored 6 points in this year's championship. Teddy McCarthy again. In towards Michael McCarthy, his namesake, the Skibbereen man trying to make connection. McQuillan does well, Porrick Lyons tidies, across to the waiting Martin O'Connell, and the danger averted. Nice turn by Beggy. Robbed by Dennis Allen to Teddy McCarthy again. Kevin Foley is marking. Beggy is adjudged to have touched the ball on the ground, and it's going to be a free in for Cork for Larry Tompkins and a chance of an equaliser. Sides level once before in this first half. And for the second time, the sides are level, on level terms. Cork 1-2, Meath 5 points. Very congested midfield, and it's Colm O'Rourke who takes it from there to Bernard Flynn. Into time added on for injuries now. And Meath winning themselves a free. A foul by Niall Cahalan on Bernard Flynn. The motto seems to be thou shalt not pass. This is now 40 seconds into injury time, and Meath have retaken the lead with Brian Stafford's 4th pointed free. Meath go in leading by just the bare minimum. It's Meath 6 points, Cork 1-2, and it has the makings, I think, of a really good, competitive and intense second half. So second half's underway. McEntee touches it forward, but only to the waiting Conor Coonahan. Dave Barry, by the way, has switched, I noticed, positions with Paul McGrath. Here's Paul McGrath. Up towards Michael McCarthy. Scored a very good point in the first half for Cork. Back to Shea Fahy as they look for the equaliser early in the half. Larry Tompkins drilling it in towards that Canala in goal, and the sides on level terms. It's the 3rd time of the match that's been the case, and that equalising point comes after 28 seconds of the second half. Down towards Colm O'Rourke, getting there ahead of young Stephen O'Brien. Towards PJ Gillick. Once again O'Rourke foraging. Such an experienced performer and a delightful player, kicking splendidly over the bar for his 3rd point of this All-Ireland final. Fahy deep. Touchdown to Dave Barry. Oh, great save at point-blank range by Mickey McQuillan. That spectacular reaction. The referee saw him being held, and it's a free out to Meath. But he may have made an error against Mayo in the semi-final, but he more than made amends when it really counted from Dave Barry's crashing shot, which was spectacularly saved by McQuillan. Now Cork are arguing, of course, that he touched the ball outside the small square that time, but the referee gives it as a free out. So one of the moments they'll talk about, I know, again and again when this game is over. Dennis Allen now. Nick Lyons his marker. Dennis now playing at full forward. Blocked down by a combination of Mick Lyons and Martin O'Connell. O'Connell's passes slack straight to Tony Nation. To Dave Barry. Back to Tompkins, looking for point number 3, and it sails over the bar. A man who was born in Dublin, brought up for a time in Wicklow, played so much of his football in Kildare, and now he's in the red of Cork. I think we're going to have a really exciting and hopefully thrilling second half. McEntee, he can be so influential, a player of great craft and know-how. Kick taken by Porrick Lyons. Oh, a great reaching catch, but not taken by Cahalan as he would have wished, and it comes to Brian Stafford, and it's over the bar. Brian Stafford picking up the pieces. That's his 5th point, and Meath go in front again. Well, such a seesawing game. Good ball to Coffey. You have to look up and find a colleague. Finding Paul McGrath. Lovely skill, beautiful turn. Can he finish with a good pass inside towards McCarthy? It went away from him. From Foley down to Martin O'Connell, but it breaks back to Larry Tompkins. A player outside him if he wants to release it. Tompkins going for the shot, and the score, and the sides level again. Now this is more like the Larry Tompkins we saw during the championship this year. Dave Barry Here's Tompkins. Nice turn. He's playing well in the second half, Larry Tompkins. That's onto his kicking boot, and it's over, it sails, and Cork have retaken the lead. A lot of bunching at midfield. Cork dominant at the minute. The foul on Barry Coffey produces a free in. Tompkins the free taker. He's got 6 of Cork's 10 points so far. He's now got 7 of 11. And Cork lead by a goal, a solitary goal. Liam Hayes takes that splendidly from the air. Referee waited to see would anything come of it, and as it didn't, it's going to be a free to Meath. Stafford trying to get onto it. McEntee toe pulls it forward to Colm O'Rourke, that cultured left foot, and it's over the bar. And it's just a 1-point game. Colm O'Rourke the scorer. And what odds now, I wonder, a draw in the All-Ireland Football Final, something we haven't had since 1972. Punched down by Martin O'Connell, and here's Hayes galloping through midfield with great style and panache. Sandwiched, fouled, and a free in, and this should be the equaliser. A great run by Hayes, inviting the foul, going through 2 defenders. They collided upon him, protest their innocence, and Stafford is the one with responsibility once again thrust on his shoulders. His side trailing by a point. The faces in the Meath fans tell the story. Stafford has kicked 6 points, looking for his 7th, and the sides are level. Leading scorers in the match, Brian Stafford with 7, Larry Tompkins with 7. That's the time remaining. Will we have a winner, I wonder, this afternoon? Most fans here, I'm sure, have enjoyed the second half. Just 1 point will do it, I'm sure. Dave Barry is fouled by Colin Coyle, and that's a free in from inside the 45-metre line. The Cork fans are behind the canal goal, waiting for this kick. Will it be a winner? It's on its way. Cork are in front. Tompkins has done it. 12 points to 11. Tompkins, the magnificent, with 8 points. Now is there a Meath comeback with 25 seconds to go. What a gripping final it's been. Well, what a kick. He may have missed some, but they'll forgive him all of those. O'Connell now in a desperate hurry. Cork, whose last win was in 1973 when Billy Morgan captained. This is O'Connell. Can they get on level terms? Cork must not foul. Meath must get a point. It's a free in. Tommy Subaru is engulfed by a whole group of red shirts. The Meath fans smile down upon this up on Hill 16. I think this is headed for a replay. Stafford will kick. I've said it before, but you'd nearly put the life savings on the man to kick it over from here. But this is immense pressure. Stafford experienced it before. Tompkins experienced it a few minutes ago for Cork. For Cork, 11 points for Meath, 45 seconds into injury time, and the sides are level. Stafford has kicked 8 points, Tompkins kicked 8 points. The battle of the big two. And I think we're going to have our first replay since 1972, when Offaly were here against Kerry. It ends in a draw, the first time since 1972 that the match ended level. The full-time score was Cork, 1 goal and 9 points. Meath, 12 points.
Drama to the very last, and after a few alterations, the date for the replay was finally set at October the 9th. It was a replay that Meath supporters faced with apprehension. Even the most ardent couldn't deny that Cork could have put the issue to rest on the first day. And their worries were added to by the dramatic early events of that replay.
Free quickly taken. Coonahan here. Pursued by Joe Castles. Left foot inside towards Barry Coffey. Judged it nicely, looking for the opening score. Cork have the lead and there are 2 minutes gone. Teddy McCarthy took it down with one hand, then had enough room and time to collect again. Barry Coffey here. Nation. Cork's captain down towards Dave Barry. Lets it bounce but collects the second time. Good chance of a score. And that's gone sailing over. Cork retake the lead. There's the Cork dugout down there. Billy Morgan in the centre. Sean Murphy beside him and Dr. Con Murphy. PJ Gillick unable to hold that. That's Niall Cahalan. And there was a wild fist that time and the referee going back there trying to sort this one out. And Jerry McEntee is the player that he's trying to get a word with. Some of the others are shaping up to one another as well. And just as in the opening minute, it just took a wild blow like that to start the game moving again. And let's watch once again as the referee checks with his linesman over there. Gilly couldn't hold it. Cahalan got onto it. Now watch what happened next. That's Jerry McEntee. And there's the fist which the referee hadn't seen. It's Jerry McEntee then that the referee has gone across to take his name. And he's been sent off. Sent off, Jerry McEntee. After just 6.5 minutes. The player about whom there was so much written and spoken before this match. Stephen O'Brien fisting it down, but only to the waiting Colin Coyle. And look how he's pushing up quickly, not allowing the attacker to settle on the ball. In towards Bernard Flynn it travels, but it's taken by Niall Cahalan. Cahalan gets a good and fair shoulder there from Colm O'Rourke, but he holds on to the ball too long, and the referee Tommy Sugrue says that's a free in for Meath from just outside the 20-metre line, and the side should be level again in just a moment. So this to make it 3 points apiece in the All-Ireland Football Final replay, and Brian Stafford duly tops it over for his third point. Meath playing well despite being down to 14 men, pressing forward the whole time. Liam Hayes here, taken down on a free, which Brian Stafford, you can be sure, will take. So 10 minutes before half-time, Brian Stafford kicks and over it sails, and Meath are in front. Stafford's got all their points, they've all come from frees, and that is the position then, 4 points to 3. Here's Tony Nation playing well at left half back. Challenged from behind by David Beggy, chopping down as it were, and the referee signals the free in for Cork. Will he drop it in? Giving it everything he has, and that's a nice point, and they're level again. Larry Tompkins' second point, both of them coming from frees. A smile on the face of the manager Billy Morgan. And that's Coleman Corrigan going out there with Colm O'Rourke, who's coming the opposite direction. Off balance, gets it as far as Larry Tompkins. Does so well when he comes to midfield in matches. Gets a bit more space in which to express himself. And that's a needless pull down by Liam Hayes, and the referee quite correctly takes out the book, and Hayes becomes the second player to have his name taken. And remember, Meath will keep on reminding you, down to 14 men. Sides all tied up. And Cork go back in front again. Thanks to that magnificent score by Larry Tompkins, his third point. And it's now Cork in front by 5 points to 4. Michael McCullen then taking extreme care with this kick out. And Meath win it in the middle. Once again it drops down to Cork's loose player, Tony Davis, the extra man. Belting it forward, Martin O'Connell is under it well. He's got support on the far side and he gets it there with Robbie O'Malley. Dodging around would-be tackles. driven well across field to Terry Ferguson, the left corner back moving up. Went around Conor Coonahan. Bernard Flynn here, belting it towards David Beggy. This is a good build-up. Cork have been tending to drift in towards the man on the ball, leaving a loose player, and it's exploited by a free-running Meath attack, and that's Colm O'Rourke who gets his first score of the afternoon, an invaluable one, making it 6 points to 5. Broken down by Shea Fatty to the other number 8, Liam Hayes. Will Meath get on level terms before half-time? Stopped by Coleman Corrigan. Belted to midfield, but aimlessly so. Meath backing one another up well. This is Joe Castles. Blocked down by Dave Barry. Supposed to be playing in the forwards, but he spent much of the last 10 minutes back there around the half-back line. Barry Coffey towards Dennis Allen. Fisted down by Mick Lyons. It's going to be a Cork ball. Taken by Larry Tompkins to Dave Barry. Trying to escape from the shackles of Colm O'Rourke. Stephen O'Brien here. Conor Coonahan. Loose player outside, Tony Davis. With a minute to go to half-time. Fitting to stretch Cork's lead, but he's put it wide. Cork then continuing to lead by 6 points to 5. So the crowds here, around about 64,000, waiting for this match still to take off. As the referee whistles for half-time, it hasn't been a particularly free-flowing first half. Plenty of errors, but Meath reduced to 14 men after 6.5 minutes when Jerry McEntee was sent off. Leading scorers so far, Stafford and Tompkins 4 each. And at half-time, Cork lead by a point. Bernard Flynn, by the way, seems to have taken on a new role for this second half and switched with David Beggy. Flynn is now operating around right half forward. Beggy is in the full forward line, being marked by Niall Cahalane. Meanwhile, that's Stephen O'Brien facing his own goal and taking it spectacularly. Leading it behind to Stafford. Driven with the left boot, and the sides are level. The magnificent Brian Stafford picks that one over the bar. He's the game's leading scorer now. That's his 5th point. The first to come from play, and it's 6 points each. Tompkins taking it to the unmarked Dave Barry. I expected a lot more from Dave Barry and Dennis Allen. Here he comes. Saved by Colm Coyle. Coyle backed into that well. Tompkins slips. Paul McGrath chips up, shouldered by Colm Coyle, and the referee says free in. No advantage allowed. Nicely taken up that time by Paul McGrath. Then Coyle went in and nudged him in the back. So it's going to be a free in for Cork. That's 6 points he's got. Cork enjoying a 2-point lead. Down towards Brian Stafford. From being under pressure, Meath now found themselves in the attack. This is Flynn. Looking up, trying to pick out Brian Stafford again. There, who looks so relaxed, so composed on the ball. Joe Castles, the team captain, turns around Dennis Allen. That's Colm O'Rourke, and that's over the bar, and that's one back. O'Rourke's 2nd point, making it 8 points to 7. This time a facial injury, and it's Colm O'Rourke shaping up to Larry Tompkins. And getting out of hand. And Burton, the physio, is in there to attend to the injured player. There's Colm O'Rourke, who was involved just a moment ago, as we watched the slow motion of that one. Side behind by a point. This is a little bit more accurate than the last kick. A good deal more accurate. They're over the bar. And his 6th point has tied it up once more. Martin O'Connell. Towards Bernard Flynn. Getting there just ahead of Tony Nation. That's a neat pick-up. The switch of Flynn might well work. That's over the bar. He's a relieved player. Meath have gone in front. Bernard Flynn is the scorer. Coonahan fisting it forward towards Paul McGrath, kept in play. Give away to Brian Stafford, so alert. Towards David Beggy, they're playing with confidence now, looking to extend their lead. And they've stretched it to a 2-point advantage thanks to Beggy. 4 of the Meath forwards have now scored. And Meath, as you see on that far side, are ready to introduce a substitute. And coming into the game will be Matty McKay in just a moment. Meanwhile, it's Brian Stafford, side ahead by a point. Hits the post, it comes down to Joe Castles. He was alert. He's driven it over the bar. Castles, the team captain, gets his first point at a critical stage of the match. It's 11 points to 9. That could very easily have been a Meath goal. Towards David Beggy, it breaks for Colm O'Rourke. Beggy moves out of his way and O'Rourke chips it over for his 3rd point. And the real class of this Meath team asserting itself fully in the second half. They really blossomed in the second half. He's got 3 points and there are now 4 between them. Dave Barry, the game really needing a goal. Well, I'm sure the Meath fans won't agree, but the Cork fans certainly would. But it's Martin O'Connell once again driving it back into the middle, and again there's a queue there of 4 players ready to push it back into the Meath defence. Liam Hayes can't hold it. Dennis Allen swiftly over the bar. His first point in this match, and indeed he didn't score in the last game either. 3 between them, so 1 goal between them, and there are 3 minutes to go. Colm O'Rourke breaks it down, but only to the waiting Shea Fahy of Cork. Hand passes outside to Conor Coonahan, who repeatedly has come forward to join the attack. Towards John O'Driscoll, loose player outside of is Teddy McCarthy. Cork needing a goal. Can McCarthy supply it? He can supply a free. Tompkins, will he be content to tap it over? Just 2 between them, and he scored 8 points. 13 points to 11 then. Conor Coonahan. What a strange game this has been in so many ways. Cork with so much possession, but Meath with so much class and so much organisation. Barry Coffey. They come looking for another score. They'll have to be content with a point. Barry Coffey's first point of the match. And there's the bare minimum between them. Now, is there enough time for Cork to swing over another point and take this match dramatically into extra time? The referee is calling for the ball and it's all over. Meath are still the All-Ireland champions. Colm O'Rourke and Robbie O'Malley, 2 men who played a huge part in their success. The holders retain their title, defeating Cork for the 2nd year in succession, and the baby Sam is theirs. The fans flocking onto the ground, sharing in a moment of victory, a moment when Meath won their first ever 2-in-a-row victory. By the very bare minimum, it ended Meath 13 points, Cork 12.
And so the matter was finally resolved, and as Meath took the new Sam Maguire back home, they did so in the knowledge that they had shown the true character of champions. From all of us here on the Best of 88, thank you for joining us.